Hi, Steve Gamache here with a Chef Knives to Go quick look roundup, and what we have here in this group that Mark sent over are some single bevel knives, and they are from Kitaoka. They are lefty or left-hand beveled knives, and blue number 2 is the core steel with a soft iron on top of that, and they are of course single bevel knives. And we've got, let's see, I guess we'll start down here. We've got a Funayuki style blade, a traditional Funayuki or fish butchering knife, boat knife. Again, true single bevel style. We've got 2 Deba knives, again, fish processing knives, 165 and a 180. We've got a new Saba, which I think is a 180. Offhand, I'll have to look at my sheet when I do that video. And then we've got 3 Yanagibas. We've got a 240, a 270, and a 300. And just a couple of things about these knives in general. They are on the lower price range of single bevel knives. So things that you will give up or what the differences are, they don't spend as much time refining the grind on the knife and getting the knife perfect. Single bevel knives take a lot of work and are less forgiving to grind than traditional double bevel knives. So they've got less expensive handles on them. They're just basic handles with plastic ferrules, so nothing special. They have actually very good fit and finish. The out-of-the-box edges actually are quite sharp on them. One of the things you'll notice, and I've talked to a couple people on these knives and worked on the 270 myself, is that the blade roads can be a little uneven. If you go to actually flatten the blade road, refine it, polish it, maybe take it all the way down to the edge, over time, bring that blade road up the knife to thin the knife a little bit with uses and sharpenings. You'll notice you might have some work ahead of you. So that's you'll give up some pricing on the front end and maybe have a little more work on the back end as long as you know that is coming. So that's one of the differences between these and the higher dollar single bevel knives. Also, they've chosen, this one isn't too bad, but they have chosen to put a little bit of a secondary bevel on these knives beyond the primary bevel, which in a full-on traditional single bevel goes all the way to the edge, a zero grind. It does not have a secondary bevel. They've chosen to put a small secondary bevel on these. The Yanagibas actually had, especially towards the tip, a pretty decent size secondary bevel on them, and the backs were ground pretty much just flush. The backs of these knives have a concave aspect to them. I think it's called irasuki, but it's a concave aspect so food doesn't get sucked onto them as you're slicing, especially important on the slicing knives. And when you sharpen this side, you basically just lay it flat on the stone and you're hitting the top part and you're hitting the edge part after you've ground the front down to where you want it. And so these do have that traditional curved backside to them. They are true single bevel knives. The fit and finish actually is quite good on the blades. They are pretty darn sharp out of the box, although again they've westernized them slightly by putting that edge, that secondary edge bevel on them aside from the primary edge bevel. So just as long as you know that maybe down the road you might have a little more work to do on the blade road, and you might have some hiccups in that, some high spots, low spots, and such that you may have to work on taking out to make it a true flat blade road for future sharpenings and for thinning. As long as you know that's coming, these are really nice knives from Mark. So they've got really good steel, and again, they're sharp. So if you want to try a lefty single bevel and you're having trouble finding one and you're paying through the nose for a custom knife, these might be a good option for you to learn and use a single bevel. So there you have the Kitaoka Lefty Bully number 2 single bevel knives. Again, one more time, we've got the Usaba, Funayuki, 2 different Debas, and 3 different Yanagibas to choose from in the lineup.